Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ellie and I'm here today to do my... Did you just see that fluff? Oh my god. I'm here to do my first book haul of 2024. Couple of housekeeping things first before we get into the books. I am still working on my second vlog for Eurovisionathon. It's kind of a mess, and I also have been working a lot more than I had planned to for the last couple of weeks because we've been super short-staffed and I have not had the time to edit or really do anything else. So it's coming at some point, hopefully by the end of the month, but I also have exams, so at some point it may just randomly appear or it may never appear. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, now we're gonna go into the books. So this is a pretty small haul. This is everything I've bought from January to now, which is almost the end of May. I have not bought a lot. I have been in a massive reading slump this entire year. And so, I don't know, I've been in one of those moods where because I'm not reading a lot and I don't have the time to read and I don't really feel like reading, I'm not really feeling like buying things either. Like, I'm not even focused on my TBR numbers or anything. It's just that I don't feel like reading at the moment that much. Like, I am reading a couple of things, but I just don't have a lot of time to get through things. And so I'm not really keeping up with new releases, not that I ever really do, or, you know, I'm not even finding other things that I want to read. So there is not many of them. We're going to start actually talking about them now. Okay. So one that I bought way back in January. This is the first book I bought this year. It is Consider Me by Becca Mack. This is the first book in this series, which I think is called the Consider Me series. Honestly, I have no idea. This is a ice hockey romance. I started it, as you can see. I read 116 pages. I literally bought this the day before we left Melbourne. And I read it a bit that night, and then obviously we moved and everything was a bit crazy and I just never came back to it. I don't know. I think I would have to reread a little bit of it because I don't really remember. Because it was January, so it's been a while. And yeah, I haven't really been in the ice hockey romance mood. So okay. Then in February, there was a book sale that I went to with my partner. He got a couple of things. I got Cassandra by Krista Wolf, which I talked about during Eurovisionathon, so I won't go too much into it here, but so it's a novella of Cassandra, the Trojan priestess for Apollo, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, and then talking about Eurovisionathon, I also bought Swanfolk by Kirsten Ómarsdóttir, which was my book for Iceland, and this is a kind of magical realism set in the not too distant future about like a spy who finds, she like comes across these people who are like half swan, half human, and it kind of goes from there, and it is really, really weird. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever read, but okay. And then kind of this also went into Eurovisionathon because I ended up having to buy this for class, and then it could have marked off Grease. Spoiler alert, didn't finish it yet. But this is Mystery Cults in the Ancient World by Hugh Bowden. Bowden, maybe. I'm doing class in classics, and this was one of the topics that we did, and this was a book that they suggested, and I just bought it. I probably didn't really need to buy it, but I don't know. It was something that was kind of interesting to me. This is in part about sort of the cult around Persephone and her mother, as well as some other cults like Dionysus and so on. And I will be finishing this one soon because this is coming up in an exam, and I think this will help because this is definitely a topic that will be on the exam. So, okay, and then somewhat, I don't know, in the last month and a half, I have just bought a couple of books. I felt like buying some things, so I did. The first one I just found at an op shop, and that is the 19th Century Women's Poets, which is an Oxford anthology. This was originally $4 and then it was half price, so I got it for $2. It's a big chunky book, but I will just slowly work through it. I think after I finish my current read, that this is going to be my sort of nighttime reading, because I feel like I can read, 2 or 3 poems at night, and like that's a good way to slowly get through it. And on the nights when I feel like reading more, I can read more. So that one. Some more non-fiction. This is The Pulling by Adele Dumont, which is about the author has trichotillomania, where she pulls out her hair, and yeah, this is essays about that, and I'm sure other things. I don't know, this one just sounded kind of interesting to me, and I thought I would give it a go. And then I don't know, I was in a fantasy mood, I guess, for the last 2. I bought Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Eli read this and said that he enjoyed it, and I wanted to buy a book. It was a toss-up between this and something else that I don't remember. And yeah, finally I was like, I'll just read this one. Which I haven't done yet, but it is on the list, and hopefully maybe one of the next things I pick up. We'll see. Again, we'll see how I feel after I finish my current read, and also once exams are over. And then finally, some more fantasy, this time a fantasy romance. This is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. It says that this is the first book in the Nightborn duet. Again, I was just really in the mood to buy something. It was a competition between this one and one of Hannah Cohen's books, the first one in her series. And I don't know, I decided to go with this one because that other one is ice hockey, and as I said, not really been feeling the ice hockey romance right now. So I thought maybe picking up a fantasy, which is kind of what I've been reading, would be a better idea. No idea when I'm going to read this. Really no idea when I'm going to read any of these. But I will at some point. I don't really have any plans to buy that many books in the next little while. I have a couple that I know that I'll be picking up in June, but apart from that, I don't really have anything on my list that I really, really want. So, I don't know, maybe this will be my year that I buy the least amount of books that I've bought in a long time, and honestly, I'm not too mad at that. But we'll see how the rest of my reading goes. If I'm reading more and I have more time, which I hopefully will soon, then maybe I will start buying more things. But honestly, I have been spending all of my money on yarn, and I have no regrets at all. Not a single one. So that's it for today. I'd love to hear what you've bought this year, or if you've read any of these and you really enjoyed them, let me know. Let me know which one I should start with, and I will see you all next time, hopefully with the Eurovision-a-thon vlog, but who knows, with something. Bye. This is not going to plan. Story of my life. Okay. This is still not going to plan. What is happening? Why are you all so heavy?